In this feature showcase, we'll be looking at the new Pack and Go function that has recently been added to Striker PARTshare 2013. Pack and Go allows you to quickly and easily create individual DXF files of any parts, assemblies, or part libraries within your Partshare database that can be saved to any location on your network or hard drive. This function makes sharing flattened DXFs of your individual parts, all the parts that make up a single assembly, or even all the parts within one of your part libraries very easy since they are stored in a location of your choice, allowing others who do not use Partshare to access those parts through Windows Explorer or email. The following presentation will walk you through the process of exporting parts, assemblies, and part libraries to DXF files using Pack and Go, as well as importing Pack and Go files into the Partshare library also. Also be aware that we've added new Partshare related tutorial videos to the e-learning site over the last few weeks, so feel free to check those out for additional details on Pack and Go as well as model importing, database networking, and Partshare settings. Following this showcase, you can visit our website at www.strikersystems.com, click Login in the upper right hand corner to access our customer portal, and access these additional videos through our e-learning section. However, please keep in mind that this portal does require username and password, so you will need this information to log in successfully. If you need any assistance with either attaining or recovering this information, you can contact us here at 800-950-7862 or email us at sales@striker-systems.com. Once parts and/or assemblies have been exported to the Partshare library, they can then be exported to independent DXF files. To do this, simply right-click on the assembly and then select Export. You'll be prompted to select a folder to export the files to. This can be any mapped and accessible location either on your hard drive or your network, but keep in mind that you have to possess right permissions for the location for the exportation to be successful. I'll be placing these files within a sample folder that I placed on our X drive for the sake of this tutorial, but keep in mind that you can specify whatever location you prefer. Once you are within the folder that you would like to export the files to, click Select Folder at the bottom of the dialog to start the exportation process. Once completed, Internet Explorer will be open to provide you with a report, where you can physically see the flattened pattern previews, part numbers, versions, and material types and thicknesses. This is only a report and it can be closed at any time. From here, I'll go ahead and pull up my export folder using Windows Explorer, where we can see two pieces of data. The first is a folder. It was created for this particular export and contains all of the files, including the DXF files, of the entire process. The second is a zip version of the same folder, making it very easy to attach to an email or place on another storage device in cases where you need to share it with parties external to your network. Regarding the folder naming convention, Partshare Export will always be at the start of a folder name, followed by the name of the assembly file itself, which is then followed by a date and timestamp. Inside of the folder, we can find all of the files created in the export, along with the individual DXF files for each of the parts exported underneath the assembly. Notice too that we also include XML data in this location as well. If you would prefer to author your own import-export script, then you can use these files for that purpose. And a quick look at the contents of the zip file shows the same as what is stored within the folder, meaning that you can immediately share this information upon completion of the exportation process. Another point worth mentioning is that the DXF export does not stop at assemblies. You can also export single parts, as well as complete libraries. The approach will be the same for assemblies, parts, and libraries. Simply right-click the assembly listing, the part library name, or the part listing and select Export to start the exportation process of that particular item. In this presentation, we'll be looking at the steps involved with importing DXF files into Partshare through the import function. Before we get started, however, please keep in mind that this import function is primarily used for importing DXF files that have been previously created through the use of the Export to DXF function. You can access the Striker PARTshare plugin by selecting the Striker tab and then selecting Striker PARTshare. You'll notice that it's fairly empty here, except for the sample parts that have been shipped along with Partshare. I'm starting out with an empty Partshare library because I wanted to take the opportunity to show you how you could create your own part libraries on the fly. I'm going to select Part Library, right-click in the left-hand window, where I can then click on New Library. I'm going to give it a name here. Just remember, when naming your libraries, you must use a unique name that does not already exist within the database. Duplicate entries are not allowed. There's my new library with nothing inside of it. So with it active, I'll right-click on it and select Import to import my zip DXF files into it. You can browse to any location necessary to retrieve your files. Mine are stored in the sample folder that I placed on our X drive for the sake of this tutorial, so my zip DXF files are stored there on account. Notice that this dialog is searching for zip files. In particular, it is looking for zip files that have been created through the Export to DXF function that exists within Partshare. The two zip files that you see here were previously created through that function, so I'm just going to select one and then click Open to start the import. Internet Explorer will open to reveal the import report and show me a preview of the DXF along with the part number, version, material type, and material thickness of each DXF within the zip file. I'll go back to our Partshare so we can see the changes made to our library, and we can see the parts stored within my new library, along with the assembly entry as well. Now, since Striker PARTshare is a real-time sharing tool that operates over your network, anyone connected to the Partshare library can immediately access those parts. For example, another person using Striker SS Profile, which is our CNC laser and plasma programming software, can now access Partshare, pull that part down and into their programming workspace, and make a quick program out of it. Or they could also pull that part or the entire assembly down into SS Nest, which is our nest calculation software, create a layout, and then process it for CNC-based production as well. Whatever the need, those parts are now available to whoever needs to access them.